Om Apyayantu mamangani Vakpranaschakshushrottram Atho balamindriyani cha sarvani Sarvam brahma upanishadam Maham brahma nirakuryam Ma brahma nirakarot Anirakaranamastvanirakaranam me astu Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaha Te mai santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste everyone. In this session of the webinar, we are going to look into this theme, gentle strength while facing hard times. Who gets into hard times? Is it only the poor people in the world who get into hard times? All the rich people would laugh. They would say to me, you don't know the troubles we go through. So shall we say the rich people go through hard times, the educated people go through hard times, villagers go through hard times? Well, we need not extend this series of questions. Every human being under the sun goes through hard times on various occasions. There are phases in life where one feels terribly lost. One feels very, very insecure. Therefore, we are here to see what insights Upanishads can give us in the context of facing or going through hard times. Now, I go through hard times. I say I am in great trouble and I want strength. The Kena Upanishad has that famous line, Atmana vindate viryam. All strength comes to us from our own self. So in the second slide, I trust all of you are seeing clearly, we have put the first bullet. This is an Upanishadic insight. The true I, the pure self, has all the strength. But we don't experience it. We find we are in a tight corner. The second bullet explains the scenario. It is the false I, the self with a lowercase s, that is ever insecure. So how do we move from the false self, a thought of who we are, how we are, a conditioned self-image, how do we move from there to the true I, the pure self that the Upanishads talk about? That is the sadhana in the Vedanta. No wonder Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, no matter what your trouble is, used to say, track, trace, go to the source of the ego. His ego is a bundle of memories. Because it has long been his habit to think as others do, man has never faced his I in the true manner. This is how Maharshi puts it. Imagine, you and I have not faced ourselves as we truly are. We are always facing ourselves as our memories or conditioned thinking present our image. So as the second bullet again says, man doesn't have a correct picture of himself. He has for too long identified himself with the body and the brain. Normally we compliment anybody who has a lot of brains. Oh, wonderful brains. But on a higher level, this brain itself is a troublemaker. always caught in the activity of the brain. The Upanishads, whether you like it or not, say we are way above the brain, way above the body, way above the senses and the mind. We are way above the brain. Who are we? What are we? Therefore, pursue this inquiry. Who am I? Now, when we say we are going through very hard times, typically it is facing a failure. Sometimes figuratively it is said, embracing failure. Oh, well, I must correct. Embracing means you come to terms with failure. That's what we want to do. Failure is very hard, and we embrace failure, meaning we say, all right, fine. We make peace with failure. That is called embracing failure. How do we embrace failure? Like a lion comes before you, a leopard comes before you, and I ask you, go embrace that leopard. Not easy. So, the Vedanta throws light on this. If you look at failure from an unbiased point of view, you find that the failure is not the total fact. I failed is a conditioned mind's conclusion. The project failed, this game failed, this work failed, this journey failed. Alright, understandable. But I failed. My life is not worth living. I am miserable. Alas! This bundle of judgments on I is questioned by the Vedanta. Am I the true I agitated, or is the mind agitated? This is an interesting, very interesting insight and question that the Vedanta supplies to you. Any of you holds this question very, very strongly can go long, go very far in spiritual practice. We should not do lip service to these questions. Am I agitated, or is my mind agitated? This is a pair of questions. Who am I? So when I lose money, when I lose position, when I lose a valued relationship, Maharshi Ramana would ask, first of all, who valued it? What made you value it so much? What made you depend upon that relationship so much, please? And so on. So you see, in the Upanishadic wisdom, inquiry into our positions, our beliefs, our presumptions is an integral part. Inquiry is an aspect of Upanishadic wisdom. Okay, now we quickly go through a few usual approaches. We may call them some healthy outlooks. Here are three. See the larger picture. Second, recognize the perishable nature of everything. Third, adopt a proactive approach of act, do not react. These three are not some goody-goody stuff. They can help. Philosophy taken to heart can help. Unfortunately, a lot of people study philosophy and they only want to talk about it or write about it, and they don't want to really take it seriously and live those teachings. No wonder Eknath Ishwaran wrote those 3 volumes on Bhagavad Gita, and the title is Bhagavad Gita for Daily Living. Not preaching, not writing on, not to pose as scholars, or not as an escape, not as a mere habit. Bhagavad Gita for Daily Living, Volume 1, Volume 2 and Volume 3, as they have come out from Eknath Ishwaran. I don't elaborate this healthy approaches. A lot of books on psychology or popular psychology give you all this. I want to quickly go through this and bring you back to self-inquiry. So what is seeing the larger picture? As I said before, to see, not just imagine, to see that the project has failed. I am much more than the project. A door no doubt has closed, but let me look around and perhaps there is a new door that has opened. Sometimes when you really look around, not one but several new doors would have opened. To give an example, there were people who were in jail during, for example, India's freedom struggle and so on. And rather than sinking in despair, they took a deep breath, I suppose, and said, okay, let me look at life with fresh eyes. And some of them wrote great books. Some of them did other wonderful things. They made use of time. They made use of the time available to them, like you see Pandavas during their 12 years of forest life and 1 year of living incognito. They actually practiced dharma. They grew in the inner merit. Ram, Lakshman, in the forest, were doing satsang, meeting rishis. Now you and I go through hard times. Definitely, we can see life in a larger picture and attend to certain good things that are always possible. The second approach was to realize how everything is temporary, whether we like it or not. Thoughts, emotion, people, everything. So do not get attached, just flow with it. A slide, a picture said, I am presenting here, instead of saying have a beautiful day, it said have a Buddha-ful day. So when you see everything is bound to be transitory, everybody gains, loses. Children leave parents and go. Students leave teachers and go. Customers leave a company and go. Partners in business leave. I mean, they don't have to leave, but typically, many times, more often than not, things change dramatically. So, if we know this had to happen, then saying even this will pass, we will find inner peace. Act, do not react. That's how Swami Chidananda put it. Do what is possible and act. Do it. Reacting is just complaining, reacting is going on, giving explanations and so on. In fact, the wonderful thing is if we do what is possible, new possibilities then emerge. Talking of our ability to deal with hardships, I must quickly mention there is a classic famous book, Man's Search for Meaning, that was written by a physician who went through the concentration camp run by Hitler and his group. He was a Holocaust survivor. So Viktor Frankl wrote this Man's Search for Meaning, and in that he says that he saw with his own eyes. He was a doctor, so he could even understand both the physiology, psychology of people going through the travails, the ordeal of the concentration camp. A lot of them who were earlier in very good position, rich, well-to-do, educated, well-placed and so on, were so humiliated, put to so much of hardship, but then, of course, many succumbed, many died, but a good number, Viktor Frankl was able to observe, a good number was able to stay put, was able to withstand all those things and came out clean. They are the Holocaust survivors. Of course, some people died towards the end of their stay. But before they died, the way they put up with very less of food, very less of comfort, very less of any convenience, basic needs were not fulfilled. And add to it the humiliation, insult. They put up with all of them and they survived. Now talking of certain spiritual solutions, you and I can train our mind without waiting for calamities to hit us, and we can tame the mind by a number of things. One of them is by breathing exercises. Thought and breath are like two branches of the same tree. Pull one branch, another branch also gets pulled. So Maharshi Ramana used to advise, breath observation, he used to say, is a valid way to calm one's mind. Another approach to prepare the mind is share your sorrow, share your troubles with a trustworthy good friend. The interesting mathematics, as you know, in the matter of joy and sorrow is joy shared is joy doubled, but sorrow shared is sorrow halved. So to share our sorrow with a good friend, we need to have an open mind. No wonder someone remarked, as the slide shows, our mind is like an umbrella. It only works when it is open. Somebody added another line to this. I have not shown on the slide here. Our mind is like an umbrella. It works when it is open, and when it is not open, the umbrella is used sometimes as a stick, maybe to beat somebody or to beat ourselves. So our mind also, if it is closed, it is a means of giving sorrow to others and sorrow to ourselves. Now, the mind has to be prepared. The Upanishads, to quote Kena Upanishad once more, as a mantra, Tasyai tapo karmeti pratishta satyamayatanam veda pratishta, and so on. So, practicing single-pointedness, bringing our daily life to order, as the second bullet shows here, and observing certain rules, certain niyamas, not imposed by X or Y. It works best when we take a niyama, a rule, on our own. If somebody feels he is taking too much of coffee or tea, he reduces it on his own. Somebody feels she is sleeping too much, even when body has had enough rest, he stays on in the bed, and she then makes it a point not to stay on like that. Gets up and gets moving and makes a rule for herself. So, by bringing our daily life to some degree of order, as Swami Chidananda said, the mind becomes ready just as the plane becomes airworthy. Before an aircraft is allowed to fly, technicians check it up and then say, all right, the pilots are given the green signal by technical people. Then the plane is called airworthy and then the plane takes off. Our mind will have to be made strong. In order for the mind to gain strength, great sages like Chandrasekhara Bharati have said, study the scriptures, inquire. Scriptural study can be the primary means, in fact, for constantly our vision is set right, our understanding is set right by scriptural study. But sometimes we don't have the receptivity to scriptural study. Therefore, japa, prayer, meditation, yoga, International Yoga Day is 2 days away from now. So, how does yoga fit into gaining strength? Gentle strength to go through hard times. Yoga and japa, puja and prayers prepare the mind. And then the Upanishadic study to that prepared mind gives a liberating insight. The Upanishadic study can completely change the way you see yourself. The false I goes away and the real I emerges. The ego dies. The falsity or the falsehood of the sufferer is exposed. And therefore, Mundaka Upanishad declares, Vidyate hridaya grantihi vidyante sarva samshayah hiyante cha asya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. Vidyate hridaya grantihi. All the knots in our heart, mainly all sorts of desires, attachments, all kinds of funny, fanciful dependence on things, people, positions, etc. They are called poetically knots. These knots are cut asunder. Vidyate hridaya grantihi. And couple of lines in between, let's skip them. The main line is Tasmin drishte paravare. So study the scriptures and prepare your mind for proper understanding. Scriptures help those preparatory sadhanas. Those preparatory sadhanas help scriptural study to go deeper and deeper. Mundaka Upanishad saying, Tasmin drishte paravare. When you see the supreme truth, then all your things go away.